20 years of Ratchet and Clank.
Is this the 20th year today? Or
Not
this
today.
year?
This year, yes. 2002 was the first Ratchet and Clank game. We are undergoing the biggest project of all time. We are reviewing
For us, yes.
for anybody in the whole wide world.
That's
This is
aggressive.
bigger than anything in the history of the universe.
Okay.
We are reviewing and doing a retrospective on every Ratchet and Clank game, except that shitty, like N-Gage or Nokia phone game from like 2004.
We should do that too.
We might do it. But anyway, so today's video is the beginning, which is we're going to go through just what we have Ratchet and Clank wise here. So actually, let's rotate these because most of these games are yours. So
Sure.
you can start from the top there, eh?
Alright, starting from the top. Now, unfortunately, most of these older ones are not our original copies because
We're stupid,
we were stupid and we sold everything.
like all teenagers.
But starting it off, the original Ratchet and Clank.
Let's here. I'll move it closer.
There you go.
We got the Black Label Ratchet.
The game that started it all. I'm trying to think of what made us want this game.
Maybe our friend had it.
I don't think so. I think Kaylee picked that out.
I'm not sure. We
Whatever-
got the
whatever-
poster.
Whatever the case,
Where- I don't know how cameras work. We got the poster.
we do. This is the one we started out with, and
This will also be our first review. We're gonna go in order.
I will be playing this one first. Looking back, there's a lot wrong with it. A lot I would change, but
For our first game.
for our first game, it was really well done and got us excited.
Also, the jump from Spyro.
I mean, back then, I don't even think we like really grasped.
Oh, yeah, well, definitely.
We didn't.
We played
know about that
Spyro.
stuff. We did.
That was like one of the only things we played on the PS1. But yeah, the jump. Just looking back, like even Spyro: Year of the Dragon was a big jump from the first two. But then going to this is kind of open world.
Yeah.
So we'll get more into that in the actual videos.
This isn't technically a game, but you guys remember demo discs.
Those were the days.
I just want to say Going Commando, my favorite game in the series. So I saw this on eBay for like
This is sealed if you can't see that.
it was like
Sealed.
$8. So I'm like I have to have it. So, but kind of just missed demo disc, trying out games.
I remember you got this one and no, maybe it was Up Your Arsenal and Deadlock. I remember Deadlock for sure.
Yeah.
The demo disc.
That was what made me want to go get the game.
Yeah.
Okay. Second up, we got the best game in the series. I'm sticking to that. Going Commando. This is sealed. I found this at a store 5 years ago for like $30, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna buy it. I did have a black label. One of my friends who's really into Ratchet and Clank also has his disc wasn't working, so I gave him mine. What can I say about this game that I haven't said? Everything's
haven't
just
said shit on YouTube. So.
that's true. So it's just it improved remarkably on everything. Like they added strafe, which was really needed in the first game.
Pausing the weapon wheel,
Pausing the weapon wheel.
which some people didn't like apparently.
The weapons like level up,
Yeah.
which technically the first game had because once you got into New Game Plus, you could buy like the gold
Upgrade
versions.
them
But
before.
these, yeah, like you'll start off with one gun and then you can upgrade it, get a better one, and then later on you can even get like a super upgraded one of that. They added in armor, which was nice. You would like just constantly, the more people you kill and stuff, you would level up, and then there was different armor you could buy. Story was still really good, set in a different galaxy, but it had characters from the first game. First one didn't have an arena, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, this game had 2 arenas where you could do challenges, fight some bosses.
Here's the thing about this game. You can remember the names of the bosses in the arena. Like even like Up Your Arsenal, which I like a tiny bit more than this, I can't recall like the arena bosses.
Yeah.
But BT Brawler,
B2 Brawler,
BT
and
Brawler.
Chain Blade.
See,
So, I don't know. I love this game. I know a lot of people wouldn't, but I think it's one of my top 5 games of all time, if not.
you know what sucks about the greatest hits version?
I mean,
It's not holographic.
Oh yeah, I forgot the.
It's
Yeah,
like-
the cover art on the OG one had like.
And even
it
the
was
back, I
thick.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, it was thick. Yeah, love that game. Can't wait to get to play that again. Okay, Up Your Arsenal. This is the other one people would argue is the best game in the series.
It's my favorite on the PS2.
I do really enjoy it, and it had an online mode that sadly we didn't really get to.
I think we tried it once.
We did, but that was like way after the fact. So, but this went back to the Solana Galaxy, and this is the first game with Nefarious as a villain. I think it's when he was at his best. You had the weapon upgrading, you had the armor,
Here's the question.
you had arenas.
You had the Quark mini games, which are actually pretty cool.
Pretty good for what they were meant to be.
Wait, what? Okay. What was it about? Like, remember at the beginning of this game, you had the little robot dudes, and they were all those like mini game. Or was that the arena stuff? Oh no, you go on a ship, and then I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
One of my main thing with this game was I felt like the level design wasn't as good, or as unique, and you were fighting a lot of the same enemies. Like it was what were they called, Tyrannoids, with the big ugly eyes and everything. So still a great game. I think just a little bit undergoing Commando.
Can I speak about this one
Yes.
first? Alright. Deadlocked. I think when it came out, most people didn't appreciate it that much. I remember I think it was fun, but I didn't like it that much. But I just went back last year and got the Platinum Trophy on the PS3 version. This game is just pure fun. Not that the other ones aren't, but like, since there's no Clank, there's no like Clank missions, which kind of bring the games down in my opinion. This is just pure, if you like the arenas,
Action.
it's just
Yeah,
arena.
which I get why people wouldn't like that,
But
but
then
like
everyone else also asking like, the arenas are not good in the new games. Like, this is just straight up arena.
well, because I think I think the arenas were best in going Commando, but Up Your Arsenal had some really good like round based ones that I liked. So those games showed you could have a good game with a good story, with having a good arena too. I just feel like the newer ones are just like
They're just there.
it's just there. Yeah, like they're not super challenging or fun or memorable.
Yeah.
So
This game also had the 2 sidekicks,
Yep.
which was pretty cool, and you can boss them around. They have some pretty funny dialogue.
they do. I mean they take a lot of the puzzle part of it away
Yeah.
because you just gotta focus on protecting them while you're doing it. But
You can have them do the crank wheels. Yeah.
like yeah, I mean the action in this is fun. Missions are pretty good, even if they're kind of the same on different planets. But I think the weapon variety here is where it's really good because you have the different what are they called? Like you have like shock and
Oh yeah. The different abilities you can put on the
not abilities,
Well,
but
I don't remember what they're called, but mods system.
mods. Yeah, you can put different mods on your weapons, and like the freeze mod is super good. The acid mod was pretty good, but and then just like your weapons like just level up like
So
to
fast.
the max
Yeah.
in this game. Like it's ridiculous.
Also,
And this was the first non-Rhino like super powered one. There was a Harbinger, which basically just shredded everything too. But yeah,
the other
underrated game.
definitely play that if you haven't.
Mm-hmm.
The other cool thing about, back in the PS2 era, they released these 4 years in a row. 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005.
Yep.
So the fact that you could even pump out 4 games of this quality 4 years in a row is pretty insane. Because nowadays, you're waiting multiple years for
Why'd you
sequels.
put these there?
I know. This came out first, and then we're just gonna. It's a series where, doesn't really matter, does it? This came out first. So. All right, this was one of the 2 games that made me save up a shit ton of money to buy a PS3 when I was 14. The other one was Uncharted 1. Literally on the back of this, it says, the first game to truly deliver the long sought you were playing a Pixar movie experience. And that is exactly what this game did. When it came out, the graphics were insane. Like, we just talked about the leap from Spyro to Ratchet 1.
I remember, I think it's pretty early in the game when you're like flying down.
Yeah.
You got the 6-axis and you gotta maneuver it.
I like when they like add features like that, but they don't, shoehorn stupid shit into. Like that was fine because it's like, just moving around. It's like a 30-second thing at most, so it actually was pretty good use of the 6-axis. This is my favorite one ever, actually. Maybe not the best one ever, but this is my favorite one. What I really wish is that it got trophy support. It didn't, but this was the start of a bunch of weapons that they still use. You got Groovatron, Mr. Zircon. I don't know. There's Combustor. I don't know why they keep bringing that back.
You gotta have a generic pistol, and
but
I think it's probably easier just keep bringing, just use the same one instead of having to make a new one every game. I haven't actually beat this one. I've probably played about halfway of it. I do like the art style they went from this game and onward was really good. Like it looks like a Pixar movie.
Yeah.
Maybe less so now if you're playing the PS3 ones, but
there's only PS3 ones. Oh, you're talking about
I'm talking about
Yeah.
like.
I think that's peak Ratchet design. Although, like he looks kind of edgy in these, but it works. It works.
I was gonna comment on that. This is kind of when they started going
Mature.
Well, they like
mature story too.
a little more mature in a way, but like I don't know. I feel like they kind of. I don't like Ratchet's personality as much in the newer games. Like he's too nice.
Yeah.
Which I get, like he's the hero, but like especially in
one,
like he's a pessimistic asshole. And like he gets a little less in like Going Commando and Up Your Arsenal and Deadlock, but it's still there.
Yeah.
Versus like these newer ones, he's just really unsure of himself and too nice.
The future was the last of like the humor also. Like it slowly just got less and less humor.
Yeah.
Humorous. Alright, I'm gonna put in Quest for Booty Disc real quick.
Okay.
Since we're gonna talk about that. But so since you haven't played this one, what are you hoping to get out of it when you do play it?
I feel like half the games have Nefarious as a villain, so I want to see like a different villain and what their motivations are and stuff. And I know like this is kind of one where it started actually exploring like the Lombaxes.
Yep.
So kind of going over this. Does this even have like a?
No. Guess it doesn't.
What are you doing?
Whoa, you were holding. Wait.
What are you doing?
Alright.
Okay.
Quest for Booty. So
This
Yeah.
was a standalone DLC. Well, like separate game.
$15.
Did not release on disc in the US.
Anywhere except Europe. And Asia, I think.
No.
Europe and Asia.
So, but back, I think when I graduated like high school or whatever, and I was actually playing through these, I was like, I'm gonna buy it. So I know this was included if you bought Into the Nexus, which we'll talk about.
Yep.
So I have it from there too, but it's like one of my favorite series, so I gotta own it.
What's funny, this is our sister's favorite Ratchet and Clank game.
See, I haven't played this one either, but I've seen the two of you play it enough
It's
where
really
I'd
good.
it's just really short.
It's just really short, but for $15,
Yeah,
I mean, it's completely worth it. It kind of, it's very similar to Tools, like everything, like the same weapons, takes place literally seconds after Tools of Destruction. But the pirates are so funny, and the gameplay is just so good, and the graphics again are so good. And yeah, I really like Tools and Quest for Booty more than A Crack in Time. Not that I don't like A Crack in Time.
It's a hot take because I mean, granted, I haven't played two of them, but I really like the Crack in Time. Again, the overuse of Nefarious.
At this point, it wasn't really overused.
I mean, it wasn't if you didn't play
every other game after.
Yeah. Like he was good. I think something we haven't talked about yet is like Clank sections. Really.
Barely. Yeah.
I think this was like the most thought out of the Clank sections, but also the most annoying. Yeah. Especially going for like the 100% where you need the gold bolts and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I remember there being some missions where like I could have finished this in 3 moves and now it takes 6 because I'm trying to go for this bolt or whatever.
It was actually the last trophy I needed, and I didn't get it for like 12 years because I did not want to redo it. And then I finally did it a couple years ago.
But Azimuth was a good.
Honestly, I think he's an underrated character in franchise. Like, he had a lot of developments, maybe more than like anyone else that was in like one.
And he was only in one game. Like, yeah.
And he really he was a really good character. The hover boots. I think it's the best version of like the boot things you get.
Yeah. Again, I'm not a huge fan of most of the like weapons in the Future series, but Groovitron's great. Zircon I think is my favorite of like the assist ones, although Agents of Doom are really good too. Yeah. Or what was the one in the synthezoid things? But like Zircon's got good dialogue. The Groovitron's one of those fun ones, but like I mean the Combustor and whatnot.
Combustor just kind of suck compared to like the first 3 games ones.
I think this is the last one where the arena was adequate.
Yeah.
But I think I mean this is my favorite of the Future that I've played. Granted, I've only played 2 of the 4, so. But I'd say this is my 3rd. This might be my 2nd favorite.
That's fair. I mean, a lot of people say it's even their favorite, so. Right. You haven't played this either. We don't have the PSP version
I helped you on
yet.
one of the missions. But
actually, I remember buying a PSP also. I saved up for a PSP, and the first few games I bought were Battlefront, Rogue Squadron, Daxter, and Size Matters. So we don't have the PSP version yet, but we can talk about it a little. I actually haven't played this since like 2008 when I had my PSP. I remember enjoying it a lot. It worked really well back then. I don't know if replaying it on PSP would be a good idea.
Probably not.
But
although I heard the PS2 version.
Yeah, apparently this is not a great port, but at least if the cameras work, because the cameras in the PSP is L and R.
Yeah.
Because there's only one analog, so that's a little weird nowadays. I remember liking it, and I think High Impact did a great great job of translating. It was kind of more like the original. Well, yeah, because this came out I think shortly before Tools. It was either shortly before or shortly after, but this is more like the
and this is
original.
canon, right?
Yeah.
Where does it fit?
I think it's after 1.
Okay.
I think, if I recall. They're they go on a vacation.
Back to Fukutaro.
Yeah, and they're literally this game starts and they're just chilling on a beach. Yeah, but I'm actually excited for us to revisit this and see how it holds up. But I remember liking it a lot. I don't know if that's just because I was young, but we'll see.
Right.
We do have Secret Agent Clank on both. This is sealed. I actually never played this. This is. Why is it so heavy?
You got like a dictionary.
So this will be the first time we played these actually. So.
And this takes place during 3, I think, or right before 3.
Yeah. Apparently, people really liked it. At least the original release. So we'll see. And then we start with. Okay, I just got the platinum for this. And this is absolutely the worst Ratchet and Clank game.
A lot of people will say it's
Full frontal. It's not full frontal. This game is much worse. I actually enjoyed when we played that.
It was,
Like
I liked it. I mean, it wasn't like
it wasn't
on par
amazing.
with
Yeah.
the
We'll get to
others,
that.
but
This game is just like the graphics are worse. They're not like terrible.
Gameplay's
The art
not.
style is absolutely terrible. Like I think it's basically like that. But yeah, I'll put a picture in the over the screen here. But the art style is just terrible in this game. Like I'm assuming they're like B or C team made this, which is, I mean, I'm glad I played it, but I don't envy you playing this game.
I do need to go get the platinum for that. So
I guess I'll help you out.
you know,
Yeah.
I've helped you with worse.
Yeah.
So
But yeah,
I
just
mean,
did
like,
this last
I
year.
appreciate them trying different things, and like a co-op Ratchet like sounds like a dream
It
come
does.
true. I mean, but Deadlock had co-op
Yeah.
too. So, but
It was.
Yeah. a lot of people think this is the worst one, full frontal. I actually I like this.
I had fun with it actually.
The weapons were good. Like
Tower defense doesn't make sense like on paper for a Ratchet and Clank game, but actually it was very well done. I think we beat it in like 2 days.
we did, yeah.
I finished the
The story's simple. The villain is a character from a super side character from Going Commando.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it was fun. It wasn't like amazing. Like
This also, well, I mean, probably not anymore, but it had a Vita version with it too, so you could also play it on the go, which I never did, but
all right, Ratchet and Clank collection. Not really much to say on this because we kind of talked about the games, but having them, the PS3 Cullen originally had, or that we used all the time, was not backwards compatible. So
slim one.
we couldn't play any of the PS2 ones. So when this was announced, I was super happy. I was working at GameStop at the time.
Yeah.
I remember I pre-ordered this. I had that day off. I came home and all I did was play Ratchet and Clank.
What came out first? This or Jack? I think this.
I think this was first. Maybe? No, because, like, remember, like, they kind of started branding
you're right.
out with this.
Yeah.
So I think Jack came out first because it had its, like, original cover. Because I remember they did an Infamous one, God of War, Killzone.
God of War was first. Well, the first two. That was the first three.
No,
games
I
that
meant,
we-
like,
Origins.
the one that came with, I think it was
Oh, the Saga.
the
yeah,
Saga, yeah. I forgot. I think the PSP ones were the download code,
Yeah.
but I think the rest were on disc because it was a 2 game.
So some people actually don't like playing these. Apparently the ports aren't that great. I don't remember having an issue with them.
I don't either.
But we're actually gonna do a comparison when we get to the videos. It's not gonna be long, but we'll do like a
I think
side by side
we're gonna play the
comparison.
original versions just to get the original experience, but
Yeah.
we will like show this off too. But yeah, I didn't have any issues with this. Like I got the platinums fine.
Yeah.
The deadlocked port, which is a separate
wasn't
purchase.
that bad for me though.
For me, it was. Well, just because
Yeah.
I had a few skill points bug out, so I basically have to start the whole thing over just to finish.
But
I mean, but
I
like,
beat it in 2 days.
the actual gameplay and stuff was fine. So, next,
Oh.
into the Nexus. Cullen really dislikes this
Here's
game.
my thought, and I've said this to you, I know, but this feels like it was made from a C team. Like I don't like the art style. I know you do.
I don't think it looks that different. It's like a more.
It looks like the
I think
two
it.
spin-offs.
I think it's more. It looks more like a spooky version of Crack in Time. So.
I didn't mind the enemies. I liked Neftin Prague. I don't remember the girl's name. They got the Nightmare Box, which is
basically the Groovatron for the game, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
It was pretty short. Not
I think it was $30,
40.
40.
I think it was 40.
remember when you brought this home though.
It was 30 or 40, one of the two. I also pre-ordered this when I was working at GameStop, so.
I don't know. I didn't mind it, but Quest for Booty is better than this to me.
We'll
But,
see. I
yeah.
mean, I liked it. I know $40. Okay, I'm assuming it was 40. Came with Quest for Booty, which was a 15. So if you hadn't played that, that's cool.
It's 25 and
So-
15. Yeah.
So I mean, $25. I think it's longer than Quest for Booty.
It is. Yeah.
I liked it.
It has trophies.
That's trophies, yes. I enjoyed it. I get why you wouldn't, but
Yeah.
it definitely wasn't like made by their like
Yeah. I mean, especially when they're pumping out Resistance and all this other shit at the same time too. So.
I feel like we gotta talk about these hand in hand.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, Ratchet and Clank for the PS4. This is the reboot of the first game that
Yeah.
also accompanied the movie.
So
Have you seen this yet?
I think we watched it once.
I know I've seen
I
it.
don't remember
watched
anything
it.
memorable about it though.
I watched it in theaters. That was.
Here's the good thing I'll say about this. This looks like a Pixar movie and plays amazingly. And that's about where it stops in my opinion. It looks great.
I agree.
And it plays great.
Here, Cullen's gonna want to bitch about this, so I'll just let him get it out of the way. Do you want to talk about the cover art?
Not really. I could go on an hour-long spiel about this.
So basically, if you look at this game on the PlayStation Store, they flipped the cover art for whatever reason.
And it wasn't originally like that, because you bought the disc version, I bought the digital version, and the cover was initially looked exactly like this, but then randomly I noticed it was flipped, and I was like, well, I thought it was flipped, and then I ended up looking it up, and they actually just flipped the cover, and it really, every time I see it on the store on like a sale, I just get mad, and for no reason, because there's really no reason to be mad at that, but it's weird.
Yeah, I agree with Cullen. The art style looks amazing. The gameplay was at the time the best it had been.
Yeah.
And that's about, like he said, where the good stuff's. Okay, part of it is, so this game was based off this movie.
Yeah.
Which this movie is based off the first game. It's basically Quark's retelling of what happened in the first game. So, which isn't, I think, a bad way to go about that. Like, it's interesting, but I think there were 3 or 4 planets that didn't make it back into this game.
The humor was all gone.
The humor was all gone. Ratchet's personality was like completely stripped of what it was in the first game, and he's pretty much how he lined up with in the future series.
I think even worse though. Like I said,
Yeah,
there's still a
true.
little humor
Like,
and shit.
Well, there was, but also like
But not in this.
in the first game, like Ratchet and Clank did not get along very
not at
well.
all.
Like Clank was super like trusting of people, and Ratchet was like way too pessimistic.
Mm-hmm.
But like that's all gone in this game. Certain characters don't return, like Al's brother,
Or the butt crack joke is gone.
Bob. Is it Bob?
I don't know.
The plumber was back still. They made the mayor on that first planet Skid's uncle, which I mean I don't think that really matters.
Yeah.
But
It's weird.
But they and then they cut out the girl who gives you the jet when you're underwater. I mean, they just completely cut that planet out. Also, the biggest disservice was they added Nefarious into this game,
Yes.
and they just made Drek a joke. Like,
Okay, I remember when this came out, I was already sick of Nefarious. Like, he was fine or he was great in Up Your Arsenal, and he was good in A Crack in Time.
but he doesn't need to be in
Yeah,
everything.
but, and then it only got worse.
Like Drek
Wasn't he in one of these two? Well, he was playable in...
He was playable in All for One. He was not.
No, from okay. What I will say, I know people on the internet, a lot of them, this was their first Ratchet, and they really loved it. And so, like, if you really love this game, you know, obviously, we're not here to disagree with you, but if you grew up playing the originals and then you played this, you would basically feel how we feel. Like, it was fun, it was worth playing. it's just like all the feel of the first game is gone. It's like when you hear somebody re-record your favorite album like 30 years later, and it obviously doesn't sound the same because their voices have aged and blah blah blah, and the music sometimes is produced differently. It's kind of like that.
The movie, worth a watch, I would say, if you're a Ratchet fan. It's not amazing.
This is why we need TV shows like.
I think this had Kronk and Zephyr in it though, and I think the Rangers too, which obviously, like, if you're following the main game story, was. Yeah. But I think it's considered its own separate universe.
But imagine if we had a TV show.
I would love a Ratchet and Clank. So Sony, if you want to go back to
a rumor of a Sly one, but we'll see.
And then the newest game, Rift Apart.
$70.
$70, yes. I bought it because I love Ratchet and Clank. You can call me a shill. I don't think it was worth $70. Like, I mean, okay. And I don't mean that in a way where, like, I'm devaluing, like, the developers.
Yeah. I
just don't, like, for how much content there was in this game was a bit more open world than the previous ones.
Like, we just talked about this one feeling and looking great. Like, this is actually on another level.
Yeah. This looks like a Pixar movie that you can control.
Yeah.
It looks great.
I'm sure everyone on the internet is sick of hearing that, to be honest.
I will say the thing I was super hyped about was if you pre-ordered, whether digitally or physically. I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah. You got the Carbonics armor.
So, yeah, you got the Carbonics armor, which was my favorite armor from Going Commando. It looked badass. It had good stats. I don't think it was as good in this game.
And the bouncer.
You did get the bouncer, and then I think the pixelizer, or you get the pixelizer earlier.
Yeah, something like that.
So, the bouncer from Going Commando, OP. It's even better in this game. Oh, also that was a pre-order bonus if you pre-ordered this one too. Which, again, makes sense because the bouncer wasn't in that game. But, I don't want to talk too much about the story because obviously we'll get to it.
Also, if you want to hear about that though, you have a spoiler cast.
We do. Yeah, me and Gabe talk about it.
Spoiler casting that on our channel. Go check that out if you want.
I think there was interesting. The story was interesting. I think the two worlds was cool. Again, nefarious. Yeah. Which we got two different nefariouses in the game.
The other one.
The Emperor one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
If they had just put him, honestly, the game would have been better.
Rivet was cool.
I think the robot. Kit was really cool.
I liked Kit. And then their version of Quark, I think, was even better.
They had a lot going for it, and I'm assuming COVID affected the development a little bit, but I just didn't have that much fun. Like, it was fun playing it, but, like, I didn't have fun. I don't know how to describe it.
For me, it was... Okay, like how I was talking about how Ratchet's, like, unsure of himself. This is really, like, where he's, like...
He's very, very out of character.
Because they set the story that, Clank fixed the Dimensionator for Ratchet's birthday, and they were gonna go find the Lombaxes. Which I wish they would make that into a game. Like...
Yeah.
You know? But, like, he's so unsure. He saved the galaxy how many times? Like...
Yeah.
Bro.
What I really liked about this, just as a final note, was the Lombax, like, history and
the I forgot what they're called, but
like stones or whatever you find.
The lore.
Yeah, the lore stones. Yeah, very cool. We also have some other stuff. I just bought this for you a couple months ago. It's just a Game Informer, but it has the first Ratchet and Clank on it, and I just broke it.
I've read it.
You read it? Yeah.
I did read it.
Actually, it's kind of funny to like go look at the old reviews of games on here, like NBA Street one got a 9.25, but that's besides the point.
I did pre-order this when it came out. The Art of Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, look at that!
I know it's got just some amazing
artwork
and
these are all super expensive now. three
Yeah.
Sony ones, the Uncharted one, the Jack and Daxter one. But if you
The
can
last
find
of
it,
Us one?
yeah, the last. They're like all expensive now, all the Sony ones at least. So if you
yeah,
can find any of these for a decent price, I would pick them up if you like this.
I mean, like, it goes over each game, it
Yeah.
goes over worlds and stuff,
weapons,
like,
yeah.
it's just really good. Like, yeah, we don't need to talk about this part, the all for one part. Which, I love the innuendos of the name.
Yeah.
Because wasn't All for One originally going to be called Foreplay?
Yes, which would have been amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I get why they didn't let them do that.
They would have let him in 2005.
They would have, yeah.
Well, we got the All for One guide. Yeah. But look at this art style. What? Can you see that? I'm gonna
Kind of get closer.
like look at the thing on the screen. Look at the Ratchet on the screen, and then I never know how cameras work. Look at this. Terrible. Absolutely awful. We got Cracking Time. Great guy. We actually don't use the guides that much, but
No.
these games don't really need guides, but
But we would have used these back when we were
Yeah.
kids, and it's more Ratchet and Clank. I don't want to
hold those, yeah.
put all that on.
I believe we have two tools of destruction.
We do.
This one is like
you
minty
bought,
fresh.
You bought one, and
Look at
then you were at a store a few months later, and you were like, "What guides do we have?" And I'm like, "I'm not home." And
Actually,
you say
that's
you
when I
just bought
found
it again.
All for One, I think,
Yeah.
because it has this figure in. Oh, there's a poster in here too. Anyway, great stuff. Side note: do you like the original PS3 logo or the new one more? I'll just put the logos on the screen. That'll be easier.
I was gonna say like the
Well,
bar one,
Yeah.
or
Well, actually, since we're here, let me hold these. I kind of like the way the bar cases look with the versus this. I mean, they've been using this forever. PS2.
yeah.
I mean, the PS1, it looks more like that, but it's on the side. I don't know. I kind of like the. I go back and forth, but. Right. There you go. And then we have the original 3 guides as well.
I don't know if there's one for Deadlock.
I think we saw it. It was like really rare. Yeah. Up your arsenal. Going Commando. Oh, this is shiny.
So shiny.
Oh, it's also engraved. They went all out on this. This is shiny and engraved.
Back when the guides were a
And
big thing.
there's a poster, I think, or something that was ripped off. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of our stuff. We have a couple. You have a couple like.
I have a Ratchet plush.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
that's it. We want to get the future action figures if we can find them for a decent price.
You know what I really want? I want that Carbonics
Oh, that is like
Insomniac
$1,000.
employee only statue. There's a few of them out there. It looks badass. And
Those action figures
if I-
look really nice though.
if I had the kind of money for that statue, I would buy one. But
Yeah, it's kind of all we have for now. Again, we're gonna start our Ratchet and Clank retrospective ASAP, probably today.
probably today. Otherwise, it'll pretty much be like a Monday series. So that's when we both have time. So look for that on the channel.
If you want more right now, again, we have a spoiler cast for
We do.
Rift Apart.
I think we're gonna do like maybe three parts for each game. Just kind of talk. Like we'll play through the game, and then like one episode we'll talk about gameplay. One we'll talk about characters and story, and another one we'll talk about like environments and everything. So.
Also, I'm planning on doing this for Sly Cooper and Jack and Daxter as well, but that'll be after probably all of the Ratchets.
Ratchet was like my favorite one. Jack was Cullen's, and then our sister Kaylee. Sly was hers, so we'll probably
It's kind of fun.
bring Kaylee in for Sly, and then you'll do Jack. And then we have other series we want to do. I'll probably do a Halo one, too.
Uncharted.
You got Uncharted. I want to do Pokemon. I know that's a bigger one, and trying to figure out how to record all of that's gonna be fun. But yeah, look for this series. It'll be a good time. And yeah, just keep a lookout for all our other stuff. Check us out on our socials. Tropical Mix Game.
On Twitter.
Yep, we have a Twitch, Tropical Mix Games. We were using it earlier to stream Time Splitters.
Also, we have a podcast that will be linked below, or you can just search Tropical Mix on your favorite platform.
It's called Tropical Cast because we're original, or unoriginal if you look at it that way.
Anyway, well, thank you for watching. I hope you
See you
enjoyed.
guys next time.